Jack, thank you for joining. I saw your email. Um, we did text you a bit late. This was not planned, but thank you for being here. Right, I see people joining in. Let's go. Let's go. You guys should see my screen. I have a screen full of people and names. Amazing. People settling in. All right, we have Ruben as well, a DM member. How are you, Ruben? Thank you for joining. You're on mute for now, but you will have the stage very soon. I see John. I see Azim. Thank you for having your cameras on, guys. Welcome. Azim, it looks very nice. Are you in Maldives or something? You can tell me in the chat. Okay, I'm checking the chat. Perfect. Everything's working. People can hear me. I see Richard as well, Sylvia, Lionel. In French, we say Lionel. So if you don't mind, I will say it in French, Lionel. Amazing. Cool. I see Doug as well. Chris, thank you all for joining and for turning on your cameras. I love to see who I'm actually talking to, or should I say who I'm having a coffee with. Who has their coffee? Because that's the whole purpose today. Yes, yes. Oh, amazing. You actually took it seriously. That's the best. Wonderful. I'm going to have fun today with this crowd. Cool. Don't hesitate to type in the chat. Let me know where you guys from. As we said, it's just a coffee between friends, right? That's what we're doing. So I definitely would love to know a bit more about you, where you're from, where you're, connecting from, a bit of your background. Oklahoma for Roger. Cool. We have Canadian people as well. NYC. I miss NYC, Doug. I miss NYC a lot. That's where I got the fire inside me. That city is something else. PR, Puerto Rico. Oh, this is perfect for you. No capital gains. You should definitely be in digital assets. Norway. Wow. First time I'm seeing Norway in the chat. Australia. Guys, this is an international global coffee. All right. So I think you guys have, I mean, your time is precious. My time is precious as well. But this is all about you. It's not about me. And I want to show you some very cool stuff. And then I want to let you ask me, and not just me, you'll see, uh, all the questions you might have on your mind. So we've got about 60 minutes. But first, I just want to spend the first 5 to 10 minutes setting the stage. So you just know who I am and what Decentralized Masters is all about. Most likely you spoke to our team. It could be a while back, right? So this will just help refresh your memory so that you ask better questions, right? I'm going to help you look smart. Cool. And just a quick disclaimer, everything we share today is not financial advice. It could be my opinion, right? For what it's worth. But that's about it. All right, let's get started real quick. I have like 5 slides and then it's all your questions. And that's it. I will hold nothing back and I will answer everything. Let's go. So, for those who don't know me, if you haven't seen my face on an ad on your phone or something, my name is Tangera. And although I hold the CFA charter and I worked on Wall Street, I have made every single mistake you can make in crypto, in investments, before I finally cracked this thing. And I've made so many mistakes. But today, I self manage over 8 figures in digital assets. I just turned 30. And literally 8 years ago, I was completely broke, a broke student. I started in 2016. Well, Jerry, you will see I will answer that in a second. I started in 2016 in my first cycle. I was 22 years old. I made 7 figures and I lost it all. I gave back all my gains to the market. I went back even lower than where I started. Isn't that crazy? Just because I didn't take profits, I round tripped. And after that, when I was rebuilding everything, you know what happened, Jerry? I got scammed out of $200,000 in crypto. And yet today I'm standing in front of you with 8 figures in my portfolio. Why? Because not even once did I think that crypto was a scam. Never. It never crossed my mind. I was angry. I went through a lot of emotions, right? But I always recognized that mistake was mine. I was playing the game wrong. I realized that the technology is actually far superior to the current banking system that we have. I recognized that and I saw it firsthand, which maybe you guys might have not, and I don't blame you. I was working in the financial industry. So if you guys want to know more about this actual story, there's a story. There's a moment where my light bulb went off like this. I will tell you, okay? If you're interested, it's not the subject. But during my career, I really got the proof, the absolute proof that this technology would take over the financial industry. Okay. And so that built up my conviction. And so despite everyone calling it a scam, I was like, no, it's not. I saw it. It's not. So I took responsibility for my mistakes and I kept pushing and learning. It was tough because I understood that money would go digital eventually. I recognized that. And in 2021, I started doing really well with my own strategy, but this time I got to keep everything. So I went from like $57,000 that I had made with some small businesses and with my income from being a banker, right? That I had like created for myself by active income. So that $57,000 I turned into 1.87 million. All of that thanks to a strategy that I developed myself. Took me years, right? That we now call the ABN system, and this is what we teach. It's heavily inspired from the CFA principles. If you know what the CFA is, right? You can see on your screen the CFA Institute. It's the gold standard in the field of investment analysis. It took me 3 years to get my certification, but I took what I learned in portfolio management and risk management and I applied it to digital assets, to this exciting world of digital assets. Pretty good choice. I'm glad I did that. So if you don't know what the CFA is, go and type CFA program, CFA charter, type it on Google on your next screen, and you'll see Investopedia will tell you exactly what it is. Now, since then, we actually started and grew our beloved community, or should I say company, Decentralized Masters, that has now grown into the #1 digital asset education company on the planet. I'm talking real here, by size, by revenue, by impact, by everything. We're #1 in the world. We have a global workforce of 130 people on payroll at DM. We have over 500 verified reviews on Trustpilot. We have 300 plus video testimonial from our members on YouTube, on our website. And we've been, more importantly, and that's what matters, we've been able to help more than 4,000 investors, just recently crossed that milestone, break free from the system, hedge against the US dollar devaluation, and thrive in these markets that can be scary, but have the highest growth out of any market out there. It's proven by math, right? And we've seen incredible results with this system. And I don't want to just introduce myself, but our members too, as their stories and results will show how possible it is for you to replicate. I have a little surprise for you on this call. So in Q3 2025 alone, just the last few months, we caught 5 assets that did over 5x, including a 100x with COAI and a 200x with Mix Finance. As you can see on this screen, you have a few people, some names, right? Let's talk about that in a second. We also caught Aster on September 17th, 2025 at 10 cents. It ran to 2.35, I believe. That's a 23x. And some of our members, the ones who caught the airdrop as well, they did a 66x on this asset. You might think, what are you talking about, Tan, right? Well, yeah, I know. These member results are absolutely insane. We have Cindy, who did a 28x, Jack Goldstein, who did a 22x. Is that correct, Jack? Because Jack, you're on the call. Jack, why don't you tell us in the chat if you did a 22x or not on Aster? People want to know. Jack is right there on your screen. He's here. You'll have a chance to ask questions to Jack directly. It's the first time we're doing a coffee like this, and some of our members actually tuned in. Jack is not the only one. So if you guys want to ask questions to our members, cool. So Russ did a 20x. Chad did a 20x. Uh, team, can we unmute Jack, uh, Ruben, and Reed? Although we'll do the Q&A right after I'm done with this 5-minute presentation, but at least they're unmuted already. Thank you. We have Liak Ahmed, who did a 20x. He layered his way out. It's right here on your screen. By the way, all these members know each other, huh? Like Jack knows Joseph, Jack knows Mark. So we also caught Aventus. This one, we caught it at 30 cents. It ran to $2.5. That's an 8x. And Chad Layer got in at 30 cents. He rode it to over 8x. It's right here. And he actually reinvested those profits into Aventus. Okay, crazy. And those were just the reported results to our brilliant team of mentors. There were many, many more that I could go through. I personally know of at least 30 of our members who got in on these assets. That's just those that came up and told us, right? That literally happened in the past 30 to 60 days. We have some videos on our YouTube channel. Here's Jeff, who's a jazz drummer. He turned a modest investment into over 6 figures with one single pick that we like to call the next Solana. He didn't have millions to invest. You could watch the video. He actually tells you he's not that good at investing usually. Anastasia, she also mentioned doing a 10x on the same asset. Yeah, I see we have another Jack. Jack, I'm sorry that it's not you who did the 20x. It's Jack Goldstein who's on the call. Bill made 932K from one strategy we showed him. There's also an interview of Bill on our YouTube channel, and Bill tells you, I am technically challenged. Like, that's how we started the call. I was like, well, Bill, I would like to be technically challenged like you are because it doesn't seem like it's a problem. Now, that's the results, right? There's plenty more. But what matters, guys, is I do a quick recap on our ABN system. It's proprietary, and then we get into your questions, okay? I will answer all your questions. So, what is the ABN system? What did we create to bring these results? Well, when you get into Decentralized Masters, we teach you how to implement this for yourself. And we start with phase A. We call it the all-weather portfolio. So, crypto is volatile. I think no one will deny that. So what we did is we built a system that captures the upside but protects your downside, no matter the market condition. It's very important. We help you diversify your portfolio through things like, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, blue chip cryptos, but also tokenized assets. You have tokenized gold, for example, that our members did really well with. But you also have things like tokenized real estate or tokenized stocks. They're all on chain, all liquid, all under your control. All financial assets will be tokenized, and we're ahead of the curve. You are able today to have all your assets, an all-weather portfolio in your hardware wallet under your control. How valuable is that? We're using Ray Dalio's principle that he used to create the most successful hedge fund ever, and we applied it to digital assets. We basically help you figure out which portfolio allocation suits you best. Let me put this simply, okay? There are two big, massive problems that people have, whoever they are, when it comes to investing. Number one is what to buy. Did you ever ask yourself, all right, so what should I buy? That's number one. And number two is what quantity to buy. How much should I buy of that asset? Once you're able to answer these two questions, you're pretty good when it comes to investments. The problem is it's not that easy. So the key here is it's personalized. There is no one size fits all in investment. It doesn't exist. If someone tells you, hey, everyone is doing the same thing, they're wrong. It's not the right way to do it because there is no one size fits all with any kind of investing. So if you're 65 and retired, your portfolio will look very different than if you're 28, making a lot of money, single, with no responsibility, and you're aggressive, correct? You're not optimizing for the same thing because you don't have the same goals. It's that simple. and you don't have the same risk tolerance. So we've got tools that immediately calculate your risk profile and help you build accordingly or choose accordingly. Okay. That's where our mentors step in to have a helping hand, an expert that guides you through the portfolio allocation and selection process. And that is incredibly invaluable. If you if you are able to answer the two questions right, which is what to buy and what quantity, you're already ahead of 95% of people investing, right? So we help you do that. We actually have a lot of our members who don't want any of the crazy results that I showed you before. They would be happy with 30 to 50% annual. A lot of them, okay? They're conservative, and rightfully so, because they understand their risk profile, and we encourage that. And actually, I believe we have a couple of our members in the chat who are actually on the more conservative side, and they will be in the Q&A, and you will be able to ask them questions as well. Okay, I'll present them in a second. So that was phase A, that you understand. Now it's phase B of our ABN system. This is where it gets interesting. We call it become your own bank. Instead of the bank making money off your assets, you make money off your digital assets. Because now you know exactly what assets to buy in what quantity, right? Well, now, because you have them and you intend to keep them, correct? You bought them, you intend to keep them until they hit probably a certain price target or something. Well, you better put them to work. They're not just going to sit there because it's as if you bought this beautiful house, a beachfront property, okay, that you know will appreciate in value in 2-3 years. And then you leave it empty, even though there are tenants who want to rent it from you for 100K a year. And you say, oh no, why would you do that? Of course, you're going to take that extra money, right? The monthly rent. Well, it's the same thing we can do with digital asset technology, with blockchain technology. That's what we call DeFi. Okay. We help you become the bank. This is where we get paid transaction fees from other people's trades because you become the bank. You are providing your assets as liquidity to the market and you get paid on every single trade of other people. That means no matter the price action, whether it's going up, whether it's going down, just like a bank takes a small cut every time, well, you're taking a small cut every time. You're just providing liquidity safely to other traders to facilitate their trades, and then you're getting paid a percentage of the transaction fees. You can literally earn fees 24/7, whether the market is going up or down. Okay? You can also lend, borrow, and do all sorts of cool things to increase your performance by becoming the bank and participating in DeFi. So give me a 1 in the chat, 111, if so far so good, you understand what we're talking about, and then we get into the Q&A. 111, yes, you're all good. Amazing. This will also allow me to actually introduce two people. So first of all, we have Ruben. Ruben is a Decentralized Masters member since April 2024. It's been a while. Ruben has achieved remarkable results while maintaining a disciplined approach. He's conservative. He's 3x on his Bitcoin investment, 2x on his ETH investment. Following our strategic framework, he smartly took profits on ETH. He wanted to handle some tax obligations, I believe, but he also leveraged his Bitcoin holdings to secure a loan. So Ruben definitely used phase B of our Become Your Own Bank and used the DeFi, what DeFi allows, right? Instead of letting it sit idle, he used those Bitcoin holdings to secure a loan. Within the next few weeks, he's positioned now to deploy an extra 3 to 400K into DeFi using the ABN system, scaling his wealth building strategy to the next level. Ruben, you're here with me?
Yes, I am.
Amazing. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
People on this call will be able to ask you a few questions in just a minute when I'm done. I'm being long, guys, I know.
That's
But we also have Reed Moorhead. Since joining Decentralized Masters in May 2024, you'll see that people stay with us long time. Probably they love it. Reed has mastered the art of strategic positioning. He has maintained continuous exposure to Bitcoin while using loans against his holdings to cover living expenses. That's what DeFi allows you to do, and that's what DM can teach you how to do. Okay? He's basically letting his Bitcoin appreciation fund his lifestyle without having to sell his position. Super interesting, right? So this exemplifies how to preserve your assets while still accessing their value. That's what DeFi allows you. So Reed, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you, Tim.
Amazing. Thank you for being here as well. Cool. We're going to have an amazing discussion. All right. Then finally, and this is the first time I'm going to be able to announce this. I'm very proud. So let me tell you, and then we get into the questions. Final phase is we have phase N, native markets access. This is the fun part. Once you're earning consistent income from phase B, you can take those profits. And we recommend only the profits, never the principal. And you hunt for the next 100x opportunities, like our members do. We find these opportunities in the early stage market where tokens are listed way before you see them on exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, or Robinhood. Who out here has bought on Coinbase and then the token plummeted in value? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you, right? You can type in the chat, yes, if this has happened to you. Well, let me tell you, it's because you're in the wrong market. It's not your fault. It's because you're in the wrong market. It's the native markets where all the crypto millionaires are made. Okay. And the biggest advantage we have at DM, because yes, I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of scams in there in the native markets because they're very small, they're not verified. Yes, that's true. That's why we have an advantage to sift through the noise. Our personal quant, Mr. Tyler Huber, he's been a big reason why our members like Jack, who's in the call and that I will introduce in just a minute, are pulling 10x or 20x's. Sometimes it seems crazy even to me. I'm serious. Now, his track record was getting so strong that what we thought is people are not going to believe us. Jack, right? At some point when we announced Tyler's results, it's difficult to believe. So we were like, okay, we're going to do something that no one else in the space has done. We actually went and requested an independent audit from a third party firm called Conquest Investment Advisory. Okay. It's supervised by the Germany's BaFin. So it's a licensed company. And they're actually a wealth management firm managing multi-millions. They came and audited Tyler's track record in what we call the native market gems. This is an audit, a professional audit that was published 2 weeks ago, I believe. So you're the first ones to find out about it. Guys, fasten your seatbelt because what I'm going to tell you is kind of impressive, okay? Here's the track record. Get ready. Time period, August 2023 to October 2025, over 2 years. 508 trade signals tracked, 99.6% of called assets eventually hit new all-time highs. 575% is his average return at peak. We have dozens that did a 20x, 50x, and even 100x. It's ridiculous. Now, I don't like saying 99.6% win rate. I'd rather say 87% right here. Can you see on my screen, my mouse? Can you see it? Yeah. Why? Because we consider a win a gem that at least goes up by 20%. That for me is a win. So 445 out of 508 went up by at least 20%. So 87%. It's ridiculous, right? It's very crazy. So let me recap the results here that you have in front of you, and I'll help you read it, and then we get into the questions. 99 out of every 100 assets that Tyler called went on to new all-time highs. They went up with an average gain of 575%. That's an average. This is audited. Yeah, I can see you, Josh, John, nodding like this. I had the same reaction. I had the same reaction. This is third-party audit verifying the results. This is nothing short of insane. I've spent time on Wall Street. I have worked in some of the biggest banks. I've worked on a desk with 100 bankers next to me. I have never seen this. Okay. It's almost sketchy. And that is why I like to say 87% win rate because it's not fathomable. Okay. So we only consider it a win when it's up by at least 20%. 73% of his signals resulted in at least 50% performance. 73%. 54%, which means which means half of them. So 276 of the assets out of 508 that he called at least doubled in value. At least doubled in value. I have never seen this. I have never seen this. And 10% here. So 52 out of 508. So 10%, 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 did over 8x. 1 out of 10 went up by over 8x. It's completely wild. It's audited and verified. I will show you in the Q&A session, I can show you a screen recording. Like I can share my screen and show you the audit if you want. I will show you. Okay, we're completely transparent. And John, the auditor himself, sent us this message. He's German, by the way, and he's not funny, okay? He doesn't do jokes. He has decades of experience and he's audited numerous asset management companies. He called the results as incredible. And the amazing thing about Tyler is that he literally shows everything. He doesn't hold anything back. All of his wins and occasional losses as well are in a public Airtable that are only available to our paid members because it gets updated right away, right? So we can't give the Airtable to people who are not part of our membership because they would get the picks instantly for free. We can't do that. You understand, right? But the audit, I'm going to show you. No problem. All right. So I see the shock in everyone's eyes. I know. I was too. Okay. And actually, today you will be able to ask Jack Goldstein. Jack, if you can say hi so people see you.
Yes.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
how are you?
Okay, so Jack is here. Thank you, Jack, for joining. He's a member since April 2024. Jack, I believe you came holding an ETH position already from years ago. And then by implementing our ABN framework, you took your success even further. For example, positioning in Aster, which you got a 20x return for, thanks to Tyler.
Yes.
Exactly in the gem session. Okay, so can you confirm that Tyler, that all that we're saying is that you've seen a lot of these gems play out? You've been, I mean, it's been over a year, so you've seen probably half of them. Do you?
Yes.
Can you concur? This is all real.
It's real. And the only thing that I'm a little more conservative investor. So I started off around when you did in 2016 in both ETH and Bitcoin mostly. And when I started with DeFi Masters, I had a lot more smaller things as well. And being with DeFi Masters, I've whittled down, some of the things that aren't doing as well and have maintained what is doing well, which are the base assets. And then I dabble a little bit in the gems as well. But usually, because I'm a little more conservative, I just go for the ones that Tyler's really interested in. And I've done well with that.
Strategy.
Yeah. So I basically have picked a few that he has and then rolled the profits quickly as they went up into something else.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. So Jack is super committed to the Decentralized Masters community and even helps out other members. We value Jack a lot for all the help and precious advice he actually gives to new joiners like you. If you ever join our community, you would see Jack often, I believe. But that's what we call a true community. And that's what we love. That's what we're most proud of is people creating friendships and relationships between each other and helping each other. That's the best thing. Now, the whole system cycles, just like Jack said, right? He said, I take my profits on gems and I put it back. Perfect. The whole system cycles. Make consistent income, in phase B. Find explosive growth in phase N on some picks. Don't go all in, right? Some picks. And then cycle profits back into phase A and B to protect and compound. Rinse and repeat. That's what we call an investment system. All right. So that's the concept, the context, That's what we do. Now let's get to the questions. Cool. So here's what I recommend. Two things. When you have a question, please write if it's for me or if it's for Jack or Reed or Ruben. Or if it's just an open question and we can all answer, then just write your question. Now, because there are going to be a lot of questions in the chat, here's what we would like to do. We've seen it works very well. When you see a question that you're interested seeing the answer for, okay, you can just react to it. That way, the questions that have most reactions, that we will make sure we don't miss them and we answer them. All right? Perfect. So literally anything, right? Markets, crypto, investments, specific positions, what I'm planning to do, you can ask us anything. Let's go. So I will scroll up because I want to see if I didn't miss anything. Okay, I have Sylvia Richards who came up with the first question when I was yapping. Sorry about that. Does it make sense to hold stablecoins in liquidity pools when the USD is on such shaky ground? Can US residents access the native markets without using a VPN or lying about where you reside? Great questions. You're not a rookie. So number one, does it make sense to hold stablecoins in liquidity pools when the USD is on such shaky grounds? Well, as long as you can beat the dollar devaluation plus the inflation, I would say yes, right? In that case. So if you consider the real inflation to be at maybe 5% and the dollar devaluation to be another 5, if you have pools that pay you more than 10, you're still beating that. And there are pools paying more than that. At least you're safe, right? Now, here's what I would say. I would rather allocate a bit more to tokenized gold and pools for tokenized gold if that is my worry to hedge against the USD. And that is Jack knows, Reed knows, Ruben knows, we've made a killing with tokenized gold. It's fully part of our strategy to hedge against the dollar devaluation. And a lot of our members actually killed it with tokenized gold recently. Now, the second question, can US residents access the native markets without using a VPN or lying about where you reside? Of course. There's only just a few where you would need a VPN. I'm sure you're asking about Hype, for example, but most of the native markets, you don't need a VPN. Most of them. Okay, first question answered. Now I'm scrolling down. Okay. I'm almost there. What is the uplift for someone that is not real good with tech and crypto beyond knowing how to trade on Coinbase and Kraken and Bitcoin IRA? How challenging is it to get going and feel like you can trade? Do you want to hear this from me or do you want to hear this maybe from a member? Because they can give you... Jack, you want to take this one? What is the uplift for someone that is not real good with tech and crypto beyond knowing how to trade on Coinbase and Kraken? And how challenging is it to get going?
I think that's the best helped by mentors. So when you work with a mentor, they'll help you. And I'm often writing answers to people with questions on the Circle site, which is the site that this runs on, answering their sort of technical questions and helping them kind of understand better how to deal with the technical aspects. And I don't think it's that hard. It's just sort of understanding how to do it.
I mean, I think, Jack, there's so this is the help part, right? But the help to get where? Well, James, I think if you're only on Coinbase and Kraken, you're missing out on... So do you see how an iceberg is? Well, here you are, you're sitting on the iceberg, but you're missing out the whole thing that is immersed under the water, which are the native markets. I don't have a better explanation for you. Because here's the thing. If you look at the price chart of any crypto token, okay, the first year or two, it trades exclusively in the native markets. And as long as an asset hasn't at least 50x'd from where it started, it's not going to show up on Coinbase. Now, you might ask me why. Because Coinbase needs to get paid. These projects need to have enough money to pay Coinbase to be listed there. Coinbase is running a business. Coinbase is making money. Coinbase is not making money when you're making money. Always remember that, okay? Coinbase makes money when an asset goes up, and so it has enough proven volume and interest from the market and liquidity, depth of liquidity, so market cap, so that a lot of people will trade it on Coinbase. And Coinbase will take what? A share of every single trade that we do in Phase B. So we go in native markets and we do what Coinbase does. Much better. And we catch the gems. So actually, if I had to say something, on Coinbase and Kraken, your upside potential is limited. You have a ceiling. I don't think that Jack, for example, got a 20x, right? He's right here in front of you. I don't think, James, that you've had a 20x. Am I right? Am I wrong? You haven't. Why? Because you're on the wrong market. That's it. So what is the uplift? Oh gosh, quite an uplift. All right, is that cool? Good answer? All right, thank you. If you have anything else, you can ask in the chat. John, who was nodding, looking at the audit, I get you. I'm a complete newbie. Tyler's results are truly incredible. I would be kind of conservative. Tan, which investor type are you and which type of investor is Tyler? So actually, Tyler is extremely conservative. Jack would attest. Why don't we talk to Reed? Reed, are you more conservative? Are you aggressive? Oh, team, can we unmute Reed? I think Ruben, Reed, and Jack, you guys don't remute because then we have to unmute. Yeah, Reed, you're back. Cool.
I would call myself conservative. I have mostly stood back to try to take in what Decentralized Masters embodies, but I haven't really gotten too much into the DeFi world until recently, and now I'm more into some liquidity pools and some native assets. And I think it's starting to have a positive effect. So my trading strategy is changing a little bit, but mostly it's Bitcoin. The highest percentage.
Okay, so you're being conservative. So you're more the kind. So if some people in this room have Bitcoin, for example, what Reed does is he leverages his Bitcoin position because DM doesn't force you anything. If you come in and, for example, you say, "Hey, I'm a Bitcoin maxi and I just want to leverage my Bitcoin," fine, we'll help you do that to your best of your ability. We'll show you the ABN system, and most likely at some point you'll start understanding. In this situation, for Reed, Phase B of becoming your own bank and being able to use DeFi to leverage his Bitcoin positions is what he was most interested in. And you saw, then he was learning and he was like, hey, all these community members are doing pretty well in the native markets. Let me try and dabble slowly, but I'm still being conservative. So always protection, protection, protection. That's what we teach our members. You have to, rule number one, never lose money, right? That's our rule. And some people, by the way, John, actually ask us if Tyler's results are so incredible and you can see them, why don't you just go all in? I mean, the guy's a genius, right? And we tell them never do that. Actually, only play with your profits, with what we call the house money, because the native markets are risky by nature. Yes, we have a genius with us, but still, our strategy can't like our system, investment system, doesn't depend on one human being. It's a whole system. It's an investment methodology. It's a psychology. Ruben, why don't you tell us? Are you more conservative yourself?
I'm kind of a moderate. Yes, I am very conservative in trying to maintain the principle that I've worked so hard to build up. But I also take a certain, let's say 25% of my assets, and I like to maybe dabble into some tokens that are maybe a little riskier, simply because I think they have a much higher ability to gain higher returns. And I'm like a lot of these members. I'm 72 years of age, so the technology came way after I left college. So trying to keep up with the technology has been super challenging for me. But working with the mentors, like Jack says, has been tremendous because they take their time. They understand my position, that I'm not as techy as they are, but they take their time to teach me and show me what's the proper way of investing. I'm super excited about the legacy program that you've introduced, because it makes it much simpler for me to operate, and I feel more
So people
confident.
on this call are not aware at all of what legacy is, but thank you, Ruben, for loving us so much that you actually revealed to them. We actually have built, let me explain quickly, but we have built a crypto software or a platform on the request of our members, like Ruben, like Reed, like Jack. They came to us and they said, hey guys, you've helped us make a lot of money and a lot of gains, but the crypto world can be a bit like, it's confusing sometimes. And also, for example, I remember Russ told me, I'm like 75 years of age and I'm making good money with crypto thanks to what you guys have showed us in the native markets. But what if I die tomorrow? How will my wife and my kids find my assets that I'm doing really well with? So I don't want to disinvest them. And so what we did is we created a platform that makes sure that all their crypto assets would go straight to their beneficiaries. It's called Legacy. We launched it 3 months ago. It's only available to our members. And that's what Ruben is talking about. We basically made crypto simple, if you want. One click to get into the pools, super simple. Okay, cool. So thank you for talking about the mentors. I'll get back on some of the Q&A questions, and I'll keep interacting with you guys, Reed, Jack, and Ruben. Let's see what other questions we have. So how much, Azim says, how much money do you actually need to start with and make a difference? We don't recommend anyone with less than 20K to join, because at that stage, I would recommend you focus on your active income. It will be better for you, okay? And our mentors are expensive on the payroll. They're really good, like Ruben said, or Jack said. And so because we hire only the experts, we would like to help people that we can actually help. So even if you came to me and said, hey, I want to buy your program, but I don't believe that we can actually help you, I would not let you buy the program. I would not let you. Because at this stage, well, we definitely don't need money. We need a qualitative group that is that will keep the results high, right? Like Harvard would be. And so our only way to keep that is to make sure that the people we let in are going to bring something to the community, like Ruben does, like Reed does, like Jack does. And they're going to make our community stronger. They're going to help each other. And they're actually going to have results. Because otherwise, if I can't help you, if DM can't help you, if the mentors can't help you, we will not let you in. That's the whole point. So 20K is the bare minimum we believe we can help you with. Otherwise, honestly, Azim, you should focus on your active income. It's better. And we don't do, some programs out there would do, oh, don't worry, we'll get you financing. And no, I don't believe in that. And I don't want you guys to take a loan or financing or anything like that. We don't want that. We do not want that. By the way, if you have less than 20K though, we have a free group where there's like some entry level stuff that we explain, maybe set up a wallet and stuff like that. Completely free, just pro bono. We do it for helping. And you can find it on my LinkedIn profile. It's called Sovereign Collective. You're not going to get the help from the mentors, but at least, if you're interested in the subject and you want to self-educate yourself, it could be a good way to start. Okay, Jean says, how do I get it to the native market in Canada? Actually, the native markets are a list of websites. For example, Aerodrome, for example, Radium, on Solana. So basically how this thing works, guys.
Uniswap.
Yeah, Uniswap on Ethereum. Sorry, it's a bit late. It's 8:44 p.m. So I'm like, my brain is like, after a full day of investing and work. So the native market, what you need to know is a lot of websites that you need to be able to connect to. But the whole point about the native markets is first you need to have access, know which ones are the vetted ones, which ones have the best assets on there, the best opportunity. And then you need to know what to buy and how much to buy. Does that ring a bell? Right. To get Tyler-like results. That's the key. If you go to the native markets by yourself, I would fail. If I was alone, I would fail, probably. Because it's too difficult to keep up. And that's why we have the biggest community in the world. We have 4,000 people. When you're about to press buy on something and you actually post on the community and someone like Jack says, hey, not this one actually, there's a better one here. Don't you think it's better? Who wins? Simple. Think about it. You are Your network is your net worth, especially in investing, because honestly, it's an information game. That's what it is. It's not like business, you can grind your way out of it. It's not. It's not. All right, Vivek, a fellow Indian friend. I'm Indian too. Born in France, though. So I speak French and you don't. Uh, how much hours are we talking of active work a week? I would say 3 to 5 hours. Ruben, does that sound accurate to you?
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes a little more, depending on what the market is doing that you're exploring. Um, some of the things that, as Tyler had found a couple of few new gems that you're kind of wanting to dabble with a little bit or trying to do a little research on. You might
Right.
spend 4 or 5 hours, but 2 to 3 hours, that's typically what I spend.
So that's the difference between what you need and what you want, correct? So basically, how many hours do you need? 3 to 5 hours. But once you're going to see the opportunity, once you're going to see the returns come in, once you're going to see the community, you're going to get addicted, guys. And we will have to hold you back. Hey, chill. You need to sleep a bit because it's a whole new world that is waiting for you in the native markets. You're going to get excited. And so at that point, you will want to spend more time because it will make you like, we have a customer, I like to say member, Tim Long, who said, I'm in my 70s. I'll post a video on YouTube. And he says, I spend a lot of time with this community and in the classes and learning what you guys talk about because it's made me young again. It's given a new purpose to my life. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. I have a group of friends I talk to. That's very valuable, right? You're making money, but come on, guys, money is not everything.
Right.
There's also the relationships that you create inside the group. So minimum investment, 20K, guys, but not like, it's not investment as per se. It's like 20K to work with us. Otherwise, we don't think we can help you. We think that you should actually focus on growing your active income. It's better. If you have 20K, then yes, you can discuss the program tiers with our team members. You shared a lot of success stories, but overall, if we were to include the mean success or the below average stories, how much did those make? Well, look, the reality is we're in a growing market, okay? When you are in a growing market, the underlying market, the digital asset market is growing. And if you set up the all-weather portfolio with yield like 15, 20% on even your USD stable, tokenized gold, etc., it's pretty safe, right? Because it's not going up and down. So with time, mathematically, everyone will at least break even. It's pure math. It's pure math, unless you don't follow the allocations. Now, some people go faster than the others, and it's not only what you think. It's not only because some get to the right gems or some, get in the right investments, which helps, but there's something else. It's your engagement level. I mean, if someone is spending twice the time as you, and so he has set up his portfolio before you, and he's taking advantage of all that we say before you, well, he's probably going to go before you. It's like in everything in life, right? So I can give you another number. We have 67% retention rate. What does that mean? It's Ruben here, or Reed here, or Jack here. They all decided to stay with us after the initial 6 months and actually get some more mentorship. Even though when you get in, you have lifetime access to all the video, to the community platform, etc. They decided to actually stay and get more access to the mentors. 67%. Why? Why do you think so? Why do you think they would pay more money to have a mentor unless they were making more? I mean, I wouldn't. And if you run a business, or if you are in business, you know what 67% retention rate is. Go and check what it is for your business and figure out. That's all I would say. James Dunn. I've got my stuff on Coinbase currently. Amazing. I'm in a bit of loss with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Do I pull the money off Coinbase and take the loss? Why would you take a loss? Okay. So basically, you have Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're in a bit of loss. Do I pull the money off Coinbase and take the loss? Well, first of all, when you pull money off Coinbase, you're not technically taking a loss because you can put it in your wallets, etc., right? And then utilize that crypto, those assets by becoming your own bank and generating income. I'm pretty sure, by the way, if you were using our strategy of phase B, your Bitcoin and Ethereum wouldn't be at a loss right now. Even though the position would be down, the yield that you would have generated would have made so that you're not in loss. Now, throwing fresh capital via your program, I mean, we're going to help you actually utilize this Bitcoin and Ethereum better. That's what I would do. So I would try to find a way to get accepted into the program and then learn right away, hey, how do I provide liquidity on this Bitcoin and Ethereum and make extra money on top before they go up, right? That's what I would do. I would like a copy of the audit. Guys, just type audit if you want in the chat, so that way I can screen share it because I don't know how many of you want to see it. Is Coinbase's new token launching sales platform? They announced a good place to acquire tokens. Okay, it's called Echo. You see Monad, for example, Tyler told everyone don't go in it. It's worth what it's worth. Tyler said no, so I didn't do it. You see? But Echo is cool. Yeah, Echo is nice. In stage B, how do you make income from your crypto assets on Coinbase? Well, you take them out of Coinbase and you provide liquidity on what we call decentralized exchanges. And we teach you how to do it. For that, you will have full custody of your own funds. We'll teach you how to set up a hardware wallet. By the way, if you have your funds on Coinbase, do you guys know that they got hacked for 400 million of customer funds in May? Do you guys remember FTX? Are you sure you want to keep your assets on centralized exchanges? Are you conscious of the risk you're taking? Because technically, when your crypto assets are sitting on Coinbase, Robinhood, or Kraken, they own the assets, not you. Keep that in mind, guys. If even you can't join this program, at least for the love of God, go on Sovereign Collective, our free group. We teach how to set up a wallet and set up a wallet and own control of your assets. If tomorrow, have you ever, okay, how many of you have 100% of their net worth denominated in US dollars right now? How many of you? Think about the number right now. Close your eyes, think, how much of my assets are in US dollars right now? If the US dollar drops by 50%, because the Fed is going to start the money printer in Q1, I can guarantee you that. What does that mean for your assets? What you worked for? They're going to wipe out 20, 30 years of your working life just with one, one decision. And you're going to let that happen? So at least this is your hedge against the financial system. This is your hedge against the US dollar falling. You need to have custody of your own assets. If tomorrow they decide to launch a CBDC, a digital dollar, and they can control everything you're spending, they can see, they can even refuse you to get on a plane because you haven't been a good boy and your social credit score is not good. Then what? It's totally possible. It's happening in China. It's happening in Nigeria. It's happening in China is the biggest country in Asia. Nigeria is the biggest country in Africa. Why not in the United States? Biggest country in America. Well, Jack and Reed and Ruben, me, our 4,000 members, at least we're hedged. If something happens, they will have to go past my body. Of course, this is not mine. This is a new one that I need to open. And we, by the way, ship one of those to all our members. Jack, did we ship one to you?
Yep.
Yes, cool. Because it's paramount. You have to own your assets. Ruben, did we ship one to you?
Yes, in fact, the first one I got was a fake or had some problems, and Ismail immediately sent a new one so we could get started right away.
Amazing. Cool. That's what we do at DM. By the way, little surprise, I just made a lump sum purchase to Ledger. I paid 20 grand so that we get the ledgers with the Decentralized Masters logo. So if you get to join DM at the right time, you're going to get a logo. That was just the flex. It's been 3 years I've been thinking about this, What will be the market in this year? Good question. I like that one. So we teach macro and literally every other Thursday. So for example, this Thursday, we're not doing it, but next week we will. we do what we call the Market Intelligence Summit. And Salim and I, we both have 8 figures in our portfolios, and we self-manage all our investments, right? And we teach our members exactly what we're seeing in the markets and how to read them, because it impacts their portfolio directly, right? We tell them exactly what we do. And so what do I think is happening with the markets, guys? Quick macro lesson, because this is what impacts your all-weather portfolio. So in terms of macro, everyone thought that crypto works in a 4-year cycle, but actually crypto works according to the business cycle. And it happens to be that the business cycle has been 4 years and 4 years and 4 years. Okay. But the reality is crypto works with a business cycle this year. And the business cycle is heavily impacted by the Fed's policy, because the Fed influences the supply of the US dollar in the world. And the US dollar is the reserve currency in the world. So based on the supply of USD, everything moves. The supply of every other currency, exports, you name it, all of it, okay? Now, all of that to say this, the Fed was supposed to cut in June this year, but they cut in September. 4 months lag. That 4-month lag has now been inputted into the charts, meaning all the appreciation that people were waiting for, it's been delayed by 4 months. Not only that, it's not over there. Once the Fed cut rates, what does it do? It basically provides more liquidity into the markets. What happens when there is more liquidity into the markets? You remember COVID? Everyone had that extra money to throw into crypto, to gamble. Your Uber driver was putting 2K. Why? Because without knowing, guys, you had some extra liquidity back then. You even had a stimulus check. Typical example of extra liquidity in the pocket. That's when people go on risk on assets like cryptos. So 4-month lag. Now, on top of that, the government shut down. This delayed the cycle further. Why is that? Because basically the liquidity, what does the Fed do to supply the liquidity in the markets? It basically pushes that liquidity to the government so that the government can spend it. But the government is shut down. The government can't spend that liquidity. So if the government can't spend that liquidity, it doesn't trickle into the markets. You understand? So not only a 4-month lag, but now how long it's been for the government shutdown? 2 months?
Or, yeah. 6
Yeah.
weeks.
So the whole thing is delayed. So we've done a research that, of course, we shared with our members, but every single time the Fed has cut rates, the market's pumped because of excess liquidity into the markets every single time. And 6 rate cuts should be very, very good for risk assets. I hope that answers the question. By the way, I know that we're on the hour. I will keep going. I'm having fun with you guys. You're 190 on the call. Thank you, by the way. So I will keep going. But for those of you who might have something on the hour, if you're interested to talk to our team, Derek, team, can you please post a link so that you can apply? And let's see if your application goes through. Best thing you could do at least is talk to my team. They're extremely professional. As I told you, we're a workforce of 130, global company. Jack, Ruben, Reed, all here went through the same application process to get in. And basically, our team members will be able to tailor the conversation based on your needs. And we will be able to see if it's a fit and we can help you, right? All right, back to my questions. I'm trying to go for those with most reactions, guys, because I see too much. Can a self-directed IRA be used to buy crypto in the native markets or cash only? Is there a strategy to help evaluate tax implications and whether or not some retirement funds should be liquidated? Yes, my team can help you with this. We actually have partnered with a self-directed IRA company, and they can help you with this. For most of your crypto investments, you'll be able to do it. Now, we're not tax advisors, but again, we work with another company, but our team members are very well versed. You know, if you apply and you get to talk to my team, they're very well versed with this, our membership directors, because we've had that question often. They know better than me. We have a team, like, for example, Tyler is better in the native markets than me, right? I follow Tyler. Well, in the same situation, our membership directors are better than me in this because I'm not a US citizen. So they know, they are US citizens. So they know very well. So they've done it for themselves. So they will tell you. I was hoping you could help me develop an exit strategy. Well, Michael, why don't I just sit here and develop you an exit strategy? I'm currently ahead in silver by 333,000. I'm worried about tax. Well, Michael, I'll tell you actually. Ruben, Jack, and Reed here also know we teach our exit strategy that we call the exit ladder strategy live on Thursday calls. We have over 700 people now, paid members on those calls, and we teach them exactly how to exit. By the way, we told them to take profit on gold at 4,300 and to buy back in at $4,000. Isn't that right, Jack?
Yes.
And what happened? It dropped exactly at 4,300, bounced back at 3,950, and now it's at 4,200. That's the kind of stuff we're able to do live in front of everyone. And for silver, we also had said the same thing. There was a moment to take some profits. But overall, on silver, it depends on your time horizon. I'll tell you this. We're super bullish on gold and silver for until 2030. We think this is the decade for precious metals and it's going to accelerate. However, on the short term, we're able to grab a bit more and we're able to get more yield, for example, on tokenized gold, um, thanks to liquidity pools. So I'll give you an example with gold. You're talking about silver, but it's kind of the same thing. For gold, what we do is, well, we don't want physical gold in our vaults because when you buy it, you get a premium on the spot price and then you have to store it. So there's a storage fee. And then when you think of selling it, again, it's a bit difficult, right? All that friction. And you, again, lose some fees on it. Well, instead, what we teach our members is you get spot price for gold on tokenized gold, which is backed one-to-one by real gold sitting in Swiss vaults, and it's yours, right? And instead, we provide liquidity on it. So we don't lose the fees when we buy and sell. And on top, we get 5% yield. Haha. Plus the appreciation of gold. All our members did this, and they'll keep doing it because we're very bullish on gold. I think that gold will be between $8,000 to $10,000 an ounce, by 2030. But it's much better if you pull up your calculator and you add a 5% yield that compounds with it, that we're able to do, that supercharges your gains because of the compounding effects. So for silver, we have a very similar exit strategy, but we're also bullish on silver. And we basically look at the gold to silver ratio. All of that we teach with our mentors, by the way. I'm looking for question about mentoring from Kevin. Do all mentors operate from the same core playbook and risk framework, or is there a wide variance in styles and quality? If I'm assigned a mentor who doesn't seem to be a fit, what concrete process exists to identify that and transition me to someone better aligned? Great question for our members. So, Ruben, what would you say? What was your experience with your mentor?
Well, my experience with Ismail, my original mentor, has been terrific. In fact, when the company was making some changes, I was switched to a different mentor, and I requested to go back to Ismail, simply because we had already worked up a friendly relationship, a respect for each other. He knew exactly what my investment goals were, and he worked with me that way. I was just comfortable with working with Ismail, but I'm pretty sure that the company would work with trying to make a good fit with whatever member joins. It's just a matter of getting on those office hours to all of them and try as many of them, so that way you have a little bit of knowledge of the mentor's style and the way they are able to respond to different members. Just get a taste of what their personality is and see if that's a good fit for you.
Amazing answer. Thank you, Ruben. So you see Ruben, for example, because basically Ismail was promoted, right? That's what happened. So because we promoted him, we wanted him to manage a team of mentors because as we told you, we have a global workforce of 130 people. So we have to promote people, obviously. And Ismail is great. So then Ruben said, "No, I want to stay with Ismail." We're like, "Okay, let's find a way and let's make sure that Ruben is with the mentor he likes." Reed, what about you? Can we re-unmute Reed because Reed always wants to mute himself.
Every once
What
in a
is your
while,
experience with the mentors?
sorry for that, Tan. Yeah, no, I've had several mentors and I've been pretty pleased with all of them. AJ, Shivam, Tyler, Anakin. They all present a different view and they all have their own specialties, but they're all professionals. They all know what they're doing. And
Amazing. That
they
actually
have,
answers the question. Basically, the question was, do they all operate from the same core playbook? Yes, the ABN system. They all know the ABN system really, really well. But we're not trying to fit, um, in French, we say a box in a circle. Okay. Basically, if you come and you say, "Hey, I'm a BTC maxi and I want to make returns with my Bitcoin," they're not going to tell you, "No, no, no, but you have to buy native market gems." Not at all. So we're going to tailor your specific demand within the core playbook, the core framework of the ABN system. And they all know the ABN system, but then they also have their own perception of some things. For example, Anakin is an absolute god at how to leverage Bitcoin for yield because he himself is a Bitcoin maxi. Okay. Tyler is a trading genius. He's very conservative. He's very good with stablecoin liquidity pools. For some reason, he's the best at it. And with native market gems. Help me make sense of it. I can't, but it's true. Salim and me, we're really good at the big portfolio movements, exit strategies, and understanding the macro because we manage a much bigger size, right? So we can't be looking at the portfolio the same way if you want. Like small positions of 50K don't move my portfolio, it doesn't matter. So I have to look on a broader scope. Jack, what would you say about the mentors and this question? If, for
I
example,
think,
you're yeah, the question was
okay.
if, for example, Kevin is assigned a mentor who doesn't seem to be a fit, what would be the concrete steps DM would take to make sure Kevin finds a mentor he likes?
I'm sure that DM would change the mentor if necessary. In my situation, I, like Ruben, have been through one or two because of changes in their status, and everyone has been great. And I think the most important thing to realize is every mentor is excellent, whether they're directly assigned or not, and they all have different specific specialties and their own methods of teaching. And so you're going to find one that you like that really fits your needs, and certainly you'll tend to move towards their sessions to learn with people that you feel like you learn best with.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you for answering that. I mean, again, we want, okay, by the way, you should know something about the mentors that probably no one knows, but we've created an amazing incentive system for our mentors because, hey, the reality is they could just be managing their portfolios and do very well in life. And so obviously they come at a very high rate. Like if I told you my payroll, it's in the 7 figures, guys, monthly payroll. Yeah. So why is that? Well, because I mean, we have 130 members, 130 team members, employees on the payroll. So that's a lot. But what I'm trying to say is with our mentors, what's the benefit for them? Number one benefit is the collective resource, our knowledge, all that we share, the tools, etc., that the company provides is paramount to their own investing success. And they understand that, right? Having all the other mentors together, I mean, You should be in those conversations between the mentors. They're crazy. I mean, they're investing all day, they're having fun. I mean, it's great for them, right? But the other thing is, I mean, for a mentor, it just completely makes sense to share his passion with people who are highly intelligent that we let into our community, because they get to learn. For example, Jack, he's very humble, but Jack on this call, who's one of our members, he's extremely good with equities. And actually, our mentors got even to learn from him on the equities, right? So the whole brain magnet effect. I don't know if some of you have been in a mastermind. I've spent over probably $1 million in my life on masterminds, programs, etc. myself, to keep educating myself and to keep learning. And that's always when I made the biggest leaps forward. Always. So yeah, I probably lost why I was talking about that. Anyway, I got lost in my own words. Where does the charter and licensing originate? So my CFA charter, you can go on the CFA member directory from the CFA Institute itself. It's the most highly recognized financial institution in the world, the CFA Institute. There are only 200,000 CFA charter holders in the world. That's it. That's not a lot. And I actually got my CFA level 3 at age 23. I believe I might be one of the youngest in the world. I can't tell you for sure. I just don't know anyone else who did it that young. And you might ask me why. Reality is, guys, I had a tough childhood. I don't have a great story when it comes to my childhood. And so I always knew that I had to do well. I had no other option. Because someday I knew that I would get a phone call and a lot of responsibilities were going to fall on my shoulders. I knew that. And the issue is, because not everything was great at home, when I was 18, I made a decision that in hindsight was not the best, which was I didn't go to the best prep schools in France that would have given me access to maybe, you know, the Harvard equivalent to in France, if you want. I actually went for, you know, the fifth school in France. And then when I went to interview with investment banks, well, Goldman and JP, they were taking my interviews, but they were only letting me until the fifth or sixth round of interviews when there are 8. And then suddenly it would, like, they would cancel my application. And I would always wonder, like, what's going on? Because I nailed it. You know, I was smart, I was doing well. And actually what I figured is they only want the Harvard equivalent name in their household. You know, as a brand name. For JP, you can only have Harvard graduates or equivalents. And I was like, F, how do I break into Wall Street now? Because I I shot myself in the foot without knowing when I was 18. No one told me that. And that's when I found the CFA. And people told me, hey, if you have the CFA, they will die to have you, but it's a mountain to climb. Most people, I mean, it's a 9% pass rate. I was like, I'm not scared. I'm going to do it because I have to do it for my family, right? I have to do it. I have to make it. And what I did back then, the story actually, is I invested 3,000 euros in total in the CFA program, which was literally all I had. I was a broke student eating ramen, okay? But I still invested in myself. I got those like massive books, but I ran out of money. So I had to like take some jobs and stuff. But now I have 900 hours of study. I believe it's 2,000 complex math formulas and stuff like that to learn and know how to apply. And I have to ace the exams. And you know what I did, guys? Actually, and don't do what I did, but I actually went and got a loan, and I took more money, and I actually paid a mentor. True story. I paid a mentor who had passed the CFA program himself. What happened is this guy actually showed me how to cut my study time from 900 hours to only 300 hours. And I ranked in the top 10% worldwide twice in a row at 21 and 22 years of age. And I can tell you, I'm pretty good, okay? I'm pretty good with numbers. I'm not going to lie. But I am not an absolute genius. I suck at tech, for example. I'm not tech savvy at all, right? For example. But what happened is the mentorship, the mentor who had done what I'm trying to achieve, he cut my study time and he increased my results. Just because he knew what he was doing, he walked the path that I was trying to walk. And fast forward to today, this 3,000 euro investment plus the extra that I paid for mentorship made me 10 figures. At 30 years of age, I'm worth over 10 figures thanks to that one decision where I invested in myself. True story. And the mentor made the whole difference. Now, yes, I took the CFA learnings and I applied it to the world of crypto. Why? Because I recognized that the opportunity boat is a better boat. Basically, if tomorrow Elon Musk, even if he's the best entrepreneur in the world, he went and he launched a newspaper, physical newspaper company, he would fail because the opportunity boat is not good. No one is reading physical newspapers anymore. The growth rate is negative, right? He actually went on and bought X, a digital newspaper. Guess what happened? Amazing opportunity boat. Plus, he's a great entrepreneur. Boom, winning. So here, if today you're on the fence and you're trying to understand what to do, well, you have to answer two big questions. Number one, do you believe that digital assets will grow from here and will actually outpace other investment vehicles? You can think, I can help you think here. When I ask myself this question, I think, wait, where's the world going? AI. Well, that's what comes to my mind. Okay, we're going to have AI agents doing everything, right? Even transacting for us. AI agents are going to transact for us online. How do you think they're going to transact? What money they're going to use? The US dollar? Cash? Or do you think they're going to use cryptocurrencies? Digital dollars, digital assets.
Digital.
Right. So you have to understand where the world is going and have that vision, okay? So if you do think that digital assets are going to grow from here, then, and they're going to outpace other investment vehicles, then the second thing is, how do I learn this? That's when you have to answer, do you learn by yourself, which is feasible, why not? With someone else, this also is feasible, why not? Or with DM, with all that you've seen, and a mentor who will cut your learning and increase your results. That's why it was built. Okay. Audit. Okay, I have a lot of people asking for the audit. So I'm going to show you the audit right now live. First of all, I'm going to drop a link of those who want to apply. I dropped the link in the chat, guys. Now, I need to go in my emails and find the audit. Just give me 1 second. Let me find a question and Jack or Ruben can answer. In the meanwhile, I'll find the audit. So, wait, I'm trying to find some good questions. Guys, it's mainly people say they want to join instead of asking me questions. Wait. What hardware wallet do you recommend? Good question. Guys, Ruben, Reed, Jack, feel free to step in. What do you guys use? I'll look for the audit.
Old wallet, usually, of course, there's Ledger, and I use I'm not Tangent, Trezor.
I
Reed, what
happen to
about
like
you, Ruben?
Ledger. It's the one I currently use. There's a little learning curve to it, but very short. You once you start using it, you'll learn how to use it. It's very effective, very nice to use. Jack, what do you think?
I also use an old Trezor and ledgers, a couple of ledgers. And I have one ledger that's used just for DeFi. And then my other wallets are long-term holdings, which many of the mentors suggest doing.
And how did you guys set it up? Did you use our training?
Yes. Yep.
Yes,
I had set up previously myself with Ledger wallets, and I sort of had already had a long-term wallet holding, so I kind of just modified as I started to do more DeFi, and made one just as only DeFi holdings.
I was
I
assisted,
found the audit.
our
Here we
mentor
go.
assisted us, or me, with learning how to use the Ledger wallet.
Okay. Guys, you ready for the audit? Tell me in the chat, are you ready for this? It's a beauty. Let's go. I found it. It was in my email. Let's go. How do I share? Share my screen. Let's go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me present our performance audit. So here you can see Conrad is the person who audited it. Gentlemen, please find the report with all the data. I'm clicking on the link. Here we go. So performance audit on behalf of Decentralized Masters. The reporting period is 8th of January 2023 to 25th of October 2025, which was 20 days ago. Let me reopen the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. Created by Conquest Investment Advisory AG. It's a wealth management company supervised by, I'm not going to read that. Is there a German person in the room? BaFin, which is the SEC of Germany, if you want to make it simple. I'm very bad at German. So brief commentary on the crypto recommendations of Decentralized Masters since inception and for the reporting period. Here you have the stamp, performance, evaluation. Since inception, the crypto recommendations of Decentralized Masters generated 500 verified signals. 506 of these reached an all-time high after the recommendation. On average, the all-time high was 575.86% above the entry price. The all-time high was reached after 101 days on average. So what this means is that on average, after 101 days, it was sitting at 575% average performance. This is an average. This is an average. This is crazy. In 2023, there were 162 signals. In 2024, 220. And in 2025, 126. So as you see, it's well distributed. And one of the key things here, guys, is that the market conditions were very different in all these years for crypto. We've had some good bull moments, we've had some bad bear moments, and the distribution is across the 3 years. So there is no data tampering here. And what it says is out of the 508 verified signals, 276, so 54% doubled. 33 of them reached more than 1,000%. 14 did more than 2,000%. So 14 signals did more than a 20x, guys. 14 times. It's not nothing. It's a lot. So. Here is the table that I showed you before, right? With the return like distribution. So more than 0%, almost everything. But what matters is more than 20%. So 87% of those. So 445 out of 508. 276. So 54% of all those that were given to our members by Tyler at least doubled. At least doubled. This, to me, the biggest stat that you should think of is this. 1 out of 2 1 out of 2 at least doubled. How ridiculous is that? I mean, to me, it's like, wow, I should have bought more. By the way, guys, super important distinction here. These are short-term plays, and Tyler also gives how to exit them, right? What is the exit plan? On the live session, he tells you, this is how I will also exit this asset. And they are short-term plays. You do not want to hold on to these. Most of them will round trip and go back down. You do not want to do that, okay? You get in, you get out. You take your profits, you get out. Now, again, we do this with only a very, very small percentage of our overall portfolio. Very small percentage. Not more than 10% of our portfolio. The rest is earning yield, is conservative, like Jack does, like Reed does, like Ruben does, like I do. This is just to go further. So if you come down here, I will keep scrolling. I don't want you guys to look at the asset names too much because, I mean, okay, basically you can look at the asset names, but don't go and buy them. These calls are short term, okay? So let me explain for you. Okay, let's go in 2020. Do you want to see some recent ones? Let's show some recent ones. Who wants to see some recent ones? You can type in the chat if you want to see recent ones. Cool. All right, I'm going down, down, down. Let's go. All right, so here we go. Let me try to make a sense of this. Use date, used price, check date. These are not the recent ones. Okay, so I have one here, for example, 28th of July 2025. This was given at 19 cents. It went up to 47 cents, so that's 150%. This was in July. I'm trying to understand how they're ranked, because they're not ranked by used date. Okay, look at this, guys. This is 10-10-25. So this is, oh, look at this one, Ronin. Do you see Ronin? So this is 10th of October 2025. Used price 0.24. Checked price 4.49. That's a 1700%. 1749%. This was last month. Ridiculous. Here's another one. Paid. You see this one? Paid. This is 22nd of August 2025, which was 3 months ago. 1106%. I'm showing you one last month and one in August that did more than a 10x. This is audited. Right? Let me find you. Jack, you were on Aster, right? The 20x?
Yes.
Let me find Aster. I will have to search. Where's Aster? It's in Masters. Here is Aster. Let me zoom. Can you see Aster highlighted? Cool. So Aster here was 17th of September 2025. Is it the date when you got in?
Somewhere
Jack?
close to there, but I don't remember exactly.
Was it in September?
I believe so, yeah. It was right when it started.
Yeah, so it got launched actually on the 17th of September, I believe. So it should be that. You guys, if you type Aster on CoinMarketCap, you can go and check the date. So we have 2,900%, which checks out exactly what we told you in the beginning of this call. Oh, okay. Thomas, thank you. You're saying stay on this page for recents. The one you were referencing before was older tokens with check dates. Okay, cool. All right, so these are the recent ones. Aventis, I got in on Aventis. Amazing, it's here. I did an 8x on Aventis. Here. Oh, okay, I understand, guys. Okay, so entry price is here. So for Aster, the entry price was 10 cents. For Aventis, it was 30 cents. And then you can see all-time high since entry is here. So for Aster, it went up to $3. For Aventis, it went up to 2.67. And Aventis, yes, 8x. And look at the date. So date of all-time high is right here. You have September 2025, September 2025, October 2025. And so this date, entry date. Oh, amazing. This is the entry date. So how did the recent ones do? Did we get a good one? Here's Chain Opera, guys. Look at this one. Do you see this one that I highlighted? So let's look at Chain Opera. Entry price, 23 cents on the 25th of September 2025, 2 months ago. Here is the all-time high return, 19,000%. And that happened 20 days later on the 12th of November 2025. 12th of October 2025. Ridiculous. So days to all-time high. Guys, okay, I remember this one. Tyler gave us 100x here with COAI in 17 days. And this is why you have to scale out and apply the exit strategy. All right, I'll stop sharing this. If you talk to our team, they can show you the audit again if you want on the call. But I'm seeing Lionel saying, yes, I'm ready. The audit convinced you. It would, guys, I always said, at the size of my portfolio, this is worth 100K a month to me. I would pay 100K a month to have this because of the size of my portfolio. It's simple. So Richard, to get more info and you have to apply, you see the link that is posted in the chat right above you, above your comment. Yes. By the way, in this call only, we've had over, I believe, 30 applications. So thank you guys. I hope you had a good coffee. Do you guys want to ask me some other questions? Like, I don't know, personal, about running the business, running the team, about the mentors. What do you want to ask me? Show me some new questions. I'm having fun here. Okay, otherwise, I have a question for you. You can tell me stuff. Okay, what today will still keep you on the fence? What are you not sure about? Is there a reason where you're thinking, nah, I'm not sure. Cost of joining. What are the levels available to buy into? Okay. So cost of joining, well, it depends. Look, we have stuff like we have the free group for people who don't have 20K to invest, right? And then we have some people paying me $150,000 just to consult with me because I can help them with their overall investment strategy. And most people fall in between 0 and 150,000, right? But there are different levels available, different tiers, depending on your level of knowledge. Okay, your level of knowledge in crypto already, the access you want to mentors. Do you want a one-on-one mentor? Or are you okay with having group sessions and Q&As where there's more people like this, and then that will reduce the cost, for example? Then there's also access to certain things. Some people want to trade with Tyler. That's an extra, the trading room. And so they pay extra for that. It really depends on where you at in your investing journey. So what I recommend is to apply and talk to our team, and they will be able to guide you best on where we think you would succeed. You will know what tiers there are. And that's what I would do. Your current favorite cryptos. So my favorite will always remain Bitcoin. But I'll give you one that I do appreciate, and it's higher on the risk side. So don't go crazy and just go and buy it. Okay. Look, I think in terms of narratives, and I really like the decentralized AI narrative. Today, there are companies that are raising their funds in the native markets instead of going to the VC world. They raise their funds from people like us. And so the native markets have become the new, it's the open market venture capital, if you want. So anyone can invest in the open AI of tomorrow, anyone, and it's happening right now. I can get, so CEO AI that did 100x, for example, is decentralized AI. And we bought into it in October. In 17 days, it did 100x, 100x. And some of our members got in, right? It's not like vaporware. I'm very bullish on, so I'm not talking about CEO AI. It's not the coin I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tau. I really like Tau. Why do I like Tau? Is because it has the same supply mechanics than Bitcoin. There's only 21 million Tau ever. There will be a halving next month. And Tau actually allows subnets, decentralized AI companies within the network of Tau. And these decentralized AI companies, they compete with all the big AI companies that you know about, but they're available and already investable at the very, very early stage. And I like that. So Tau is one that I like. Now, it only represents less than 5% of my portfolio. So don't go ham on it. Okay, because as long as the market and the liquidity doesn't trickle down, Tau can't go up. It's like the broader market. We need the liquidity in the markets. Okay, so be careful with what you do. Don't treat me like one of those Twitter crypto gurus. I don't like that. General question. Oh, it's not 20K a month. It's not 20K. It's Tau. If you're interested to learn Tau and its subnets, equal to decentralized AI that I really like. And you can only buy these things in the native markets, by the way. Oh, by the way, do you know the story of Tau, guys? Tau, wonderful example of what I was saying. What is the story of Tau? Tau got listed on the native markets 2 years ago for $20, okay? It went up to $750 in the native markets. Coinbase didn't list it. Robinhood didn't list it. Crypto.com didn't list it. Kraken didn't list it. You know when Coinbase listed it? In February 25, 2 years after Tau had done this whole run. And you know what happened after Tau listed it? Guess. When Coinbase listed it, guess, please. It went back down. It lost 50% after Coinbase listing. 50%. So native market investors made a 20x on Tau in the native markets, right? Coinbase investors did a minus 50%. Horrible. What do you think our members did? Okay, now you understand. We believe that with tokenization in the markets and the growth of AI and digital assets, we believe that most likely this market that is today 4 trillion, it will go to 100 trillion. So there is a 25x to go and seize from here, okay? So the goal is not to get like rich in the next 2 months. You can when you have a Tyler in your room, but the goal is not that. We have a longer term vision and all our members understand that. We're not here to sell hype. We first do what we call asset and capital protection, financial sovereignty. Then we grow our assets and we take the profits into phase N and we go for the home run. It's a very studied system that we have here. Who joins and is not successful? Those who don't engage. People who are not willing to actually learn this, who are not engaged with the group, with their mentor. Our mentors text you. Oh, that's what I was trying to tell you. Do you know why we're so successful? Jack has seen the inside out. We have created a structure where our mentors are incentivized on your progress. So it's not you. They will call you. Hey, James, did you finish step 2? Did you do your homework? Did you become your own bank already? Oh, okay. Can you join this office hour, please? I'm going to explain this strategy about this. That's what our mentors do. Ruben, did you ever get a call out of nowhere from Ismail putting you back on track?
Oh yes, that and emails, text messages, constantly. My analyst at the time, Rodrigo, as well. Now, they stayed after me, make sure I kept up.
And do you think that's why you're successful today?
One of the reasons why, but again, like you mentioned, you have to get engaged. You have to do your part. You just can't. It's not going to happen by itself. But with your engagement and with their advice, so not so much that they do or give us advice, but just the way they teach you how to engage the correct way. That's because again, I'm not a techie guy. It took me a lot to get the confidence level to a point where I could do my own clicks, moving things around. So, and of course, both Ismael as well as Rodrigo, they were kind of looking over my shoulder the whole time. But that's the only way I learned, is to just get involved and stay engaged.
Reed, would you like to add something about, who doesn't succeed and why, and how the mentors actually push you?
I would echo Ruben's sentiments. It took me quite a while to engage and just kind of like, that little bird that takes off of that branch and finally flies. But I think the accumulative information that I've got is that's propelled me forward. So, and again, you have to engage. You have to search for yourself. It's not an easy thing all the way through.
Thank you for saying that. That is why when someone asked about the refund policy, I was like, that's not the kind of people we want. Do you believe it's the future? If yes, you will dedicate 3 to 5 hours and it will become more because you will love it. But we want action takers. We want people who are convinced. And we don't want sheep who believe that the government and that the Fed and that the banking system will stay on forever. We want people who actually understand and realize what's going on and want to take back control. They want to take action. We want forward thinkers who are done with all this bullshit. Because I was done with this bullshit. I've seen the inside. And I can tell you it doesn't look good. Jack, would you add something about the mentors? You've seen the inside, actually.
Yes. For
You
me,
saw how we
when
run things inside. Jack got the way.
yes,
So just for you guys to know, I am a crazy founder. Okay, this company we're gonna take to the billion-dollar unicorn status, not with DM in itself because we educate, but with Legacy, the software that Ruben mentioned early on, that we're building thanks to our members for them. We actually ask them, "What do you want in the software?" and we build it. Okay, so I knew and I've always known that customer obsession is the way. As long as our members are happy, as long as our community is successful, all the products that we create for them, they will love them because they feel that we respect them. And so I've seen what doesn't work. For example, me, the CFA program, why the pass rate is 9%? Why do you think it's that? It's because most people, they can't study. And so when I got the mentor, he was telling me, yo, did you finish this? I had like accountability. I had to do it. I had to do it. And he told me, oh, you can do it this way, but fine, I'll tell you how to do it easy. Actually, there's this thing in page 24 that's going to help you bypass this thing. And I'm like, okay. So Jack, what would you say? So that's what we brought with the mentors. We told them, you call your members and you make sure that they progress, that they understand, that you answer their questions, their queries. You're there for them. This is paramount to their success and so to our success. And mentors are incentivized on your success. They are.
I
then
believe
it
that the
works.
most important thing is to spend the time and take advantage of what the mentors have to offer and the whole program has to offer. And if you really spend the time, you will gain dramatically from that. No matter what your level of technical experience is, you can learn. And the mentors are there to help you learn.
I'm probably worse than Ruben at tech, guys. I hate to admit it, but it's just true. I
That's pretty
rely,
bad.
by the way, guys, why do you think that Salim and I, we decided to build this team, this research team, and our mentors? It's initially it was very selfish. It was for us. It's for us. Every decision we make in the markets, we all come together, we think, and because every single decision has a big impact on my financial future. I'm managing too much, right? I need a team of experts who are doing this all the time. I don't want to be on the charts, but if I have a Tyler, I'm fine. You know, if I have Bitcoin and I ask Anakin, hey, where should I put it? I trust Anakin. Simple. It's that simple. Janet says that's 3 to 5 hours a week. Is that realistic? Some programs say this, then it turns out to be 10. Ruben, I think you answered this one.
Well, it really depends on how quickly and how much you want to learn. The program that DM offers gives you that latitude. You can learn as much as you want, as quickly as you want, or you could take your time like I did and just learn it a little at a time. Initially, when I first became a member, yes, I was spending 8 to 10, 12 hours a week because, again, I was being pushed by my mentor to complete the homework assignments, complete the classes, and move on and stay engaged. But since I've passed this level 5, it's taken a more an easier approach where I'm spending 3 to 5 to 8 hours. It all depends. Sometimes I'm busy with my personal life and I only spend 3 hours a week. Sometimes a little more. It depends on how much time I actually have available. I'm still working part-time, so that takes some of my time away from being involved with DM. But I'll be retiring by the end of the year, and we'll have more time to spend with DM, especially in the gym section.
Thank you. So Ryan, yes, what are the levels? So it's steps. It's not levels. Our program is broken down in steps. It's step by step. We help you get wins super quickly so that you keep engaged. We've made it fun. It's super well organized. It's probably the German side in me that wanted to make it like this. But it's basically, it follows our ABN system. By the way, I have an announcement. Please, Jack, Ruben, and Reed, can I trust you guys? Can I trust you guys?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So please do not tell any one of our DM members. You're the only ones to know this. Next Thursday on the Market Intelligence Summit, I'm going to announce a big surprise. Our DA 5.0, our new program, is going to be released. And basically, when people wake up, they're going to see the whole thing in Circle already published. It is a masterpiece. A masterpiece. We've spent like a month recording it. It's insane. It all follows the ABN system. It's incredible. Just don't tell them. I want to see their faces on the live call in 1 week.
That's great.
Cool. That's cool.
I want the pinky promise, guys. Yes. All right, cool. All right, amazing. If most of my assets are currently in qualified accounts, would you recommend not using those to invest in crypto and using part of that as my... I can't recommend... I don't understand what is qualified accounts, to be honest with you. I don't know what you're talking about. How many live calls a week? We covered 10 hours a day, guys. For 10 hours a day, there is someone sitting live on Zoom to answer your questions right away. We call that office hours. We're the only ones to do this. Oh, IRA. Again, Ryan, I think you should talk to my team because they will know better than me. They're US citizens, they know better than me. I don't like to say something what I don't know. Can we keep our current Coinbase accounts and pay you in crypto for membership? Yes, you can. We don't necessarily advise getting everything off Coinbase, not everything, but you can pay directly from Coinbase, yeah. I mean, you'll see everything is well detailed. Your mentor will understand what you want, what are your thoughts, what you're afraid of, and he's just going to tell you, hey, here are the options. This is what I would do. Up to you to decide. This is the pros and cons of each, right? It's very, like, at the end of the day, you decide what you want to do. And I see Jeannette. Can I say it in French? Jeannette. Great name. Love the name. So Jeannette, you asked if you can join as a couple. I recommend you do so. Your marriage will thank you. We've seen couples who were fighting who got into DM together, and it gave a breath of fresh air to their couple. And we're definitely not in the business of getting you divorced. So I will reach out to the mentor you get with to make sure that you guys can come to the sessions together. By the way, I'm interviewing a couple, I believe probably next week. It should be in my calendar. A couple who joined together, and they're loving it, and they're learning together, they're making money together. I love that. I love seeing that. Hernan, are you Spanish? I speak Spanish. Hablo español si quieres. Yo viví un año en Colombia, por eso hablo español. Gracias por estar aquí. I hope you like my Spanish accent.
Very
your
good.
advertisement.
Good.
It's good, right? It's not too bad. About being your own bank. Is this part of the plan here? I'm assuming, Hernan, that you missed the initial part of the call. This is definitely the plan. Becoming your own bank is phase B of our ABN system. Every single one of our members does that. Getting into DeFi liquidity pools. For example, instead of giving away all your earnings to a bank, for example, you put money in your savings account, you get 0.5 or 1% on your savings account, and the bank actually takes your money and lends that to other people, for credit card debt. They get 12%. They keep the delta of 11%. Is that fair? I don't think so, right? Well, what we do is, by using stable coins, we actually go on the market and we become the bank, and we get the 12% for ourselves. Do you think it's better? I think it's better, and we hope you do that. Tan, I've been in crypto since 2019. I'm very committed to learn as much as I can, as I'm high net worth and want to move out of the system to self-custody of my money. Move to a tax-friendly country. Come to Dubai. Or our head of enrollment is in Puerto Rico, which is probably good for you if you're a US citizen. I don't know where you're from. Birkenback. Maybe you're German, Lionel. I don't know. But if you are European, you should definitely come to Dubai. I'll shake your hand live. I've met some members here. Can you help me achieve this? You're from Canada. You have an exit tax, I think.
Yeah.
But Doc, our head of education, by the way, you've probably seen him on video. The DeFi doctor is Canadian, and DeFi changed his and his family's life. He's our business partner, by the way, DeFi doctor. He left Canada because he was very angry with what they were teaching his kids at school. And so he decided to leave thanks to DeFi. So if he did it, you can do it. You're retired, you have the time. Lionel, we can definitely, you're at the right place. And you will probably fall in love with Doc, because he did what you're trying to do. He did it himself. He actually sold the college. I don't know if you know that, Jack, Ruben, Reed, but
No.
Doc had an education institution in Canada. He sold it for a couple million, I think, a bit more. And then he moved out of Canada because thanks to DeFi, he was able to grow his money. Thanks to DeFi, he was getting all the passive income he wanted. And thanks to that, because he didn't have any more active income coming, he was able to bring his kids out of the Canadian system.
Public school.
Yeah, that's a very cool story. And Lionel, Doc is the one you will see the most because he's on every video. He's the one who teaches you the classes. Jack, do you have a comment about Doc? We love Doc.
Yeah, he's very good. I was always wondering why they call him Doc, though.
Because he actually has a
Is he an
PhD.
MD?
he's an MD. He's a doctor.
Oh, he's an MD. Yeah, yeah, I am
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. He's a doctor. And he's the one
Yep.
teaching you DeFi, the DeFi doctor.
Yep.
It's cool, no?
Yes.
Very cool.
Oh, chévere, Hernan said. So you're Colombian, I'm assuming. Does the company have an annual in-person meeting? I am shocked. How do you know that? We're preparing for it. So if you join now, you actually could join in. Ancestry Belgique, thank you for saying it properly. Well, Jeannette, I'm glad to say it properly. Okay, are we done with the questions? It's been 2 hours we're here. You guys are crazy to follow me in my madness, I think. I could sit here the whole day talking to people. I love it. And there's still 150 people. It's crazy. Okay, well, I do have a dinner that I need to attend. My friends are probably gonna kill me, but that's fine. I'd rather be here. Jack, Ruben, and Reed, I cannot begin to thank you enough. Thank you so much for being so engaged in community and helping people who just like you once were on the fence, right? Do you have a
welcome.
final word, maybe? Ruben, do you have a final word for someone who's still on the fence?
No, just go ahead and bite the bullet and jump in with both feet. It's no, you don't even need to test the waters for poking your toes. You're going to be very grateful at the end once you start learning and start getting engaged in the program. This is by far the best financial education that I've ever gotten, by far.
Thank you, Ruben. Thank you very much. Gives me goosebumps, that we know that we're doing somewhat a good job. Reed, do you want to say something?
I haven't got anything to add to what Ruben just commented on. That's basically it. Jump in and engage.
Very much. Jack?
My feeling is that, you're going to help yourself better than anybody, and as long as you're willing to take the time to take advantage of what you're offered when you join. So the key is really, I wouldn't be afraid of joining. Just make sure you're going to spend the time and really apply yourself to learn, because the resources are there for you. You just have to take advantage of it.
I couldn't agree more. I believe where we spend our time is the best indication of what our priorities are. I often say, show me someone's calendar and I'll tell you their true color, right? I'll tell you who they are. And well, I can tell Reed, Ruben, and Jack that you come on a coffee Q&A, even though you're still a member, I know what your true color is.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I strongly believe that the level of knowledge in this group is probably one of the best in the world. And I mean that. That's why we created a mastermind. And I'm not only saying about our team only, but also our members. They're highly educated, extremely smart. They understand what's going on. They understand the market. And they made the move and they're glad they did. And we're glad they did because we are stronger with them. We're all stronger together. So thank you very much for this time. I appreciate all of you because you decided to spend a coffee time with me. And it means a lot to me. So whatever you decide to do, it's your decision. But, the world is moving and you have to be aware. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And we'll see each other soon, I hope. Bye-bye.